Welcome to the Jenna and Julien Podcast.
Yeah, if you're watching this on Bluetooth right now, you'll notice that all of the dogs are currently on the table. Yes. So also, if you're listening and you're like, what the hell are all those noises? They're just all of our dogs on the table.
Yes.
So we've got 2 Italian Greyhounds, Peach and Kermit, and 1 small Chihuahua named Mr. Marbles.
Inappropriately, we're going to talk about them today.
Yeah.
We decided...
I'm super pumped that they're allowed in the podcast room.
They're so far being okay.
They're usually never allowed because they're so loud and bad.
Yeah. And we are also...
It's a teacup.
This is a double new thing for this podcast. We're periscoping.
We're periscoping.
Right here. I'll link the Periscope below. It's Jenna Julien Pod on Periscope. But we decided that it would probably be the easiest solution because we can do it from the iPad instead of bringing the whole computer in here.
Yeah.
So we're going to see... We're test driving it right now.
Yeah.
But,
we used to live Ustream.
We did. In the early days of the podcast.
Family.
Yeah. There was like 15 people we would have on the Ustream so they could watch the podcast live. And then once we got the new setup, it was just kind of too difficult because I got my computer right here recording audio, and having a second computer was just a little bit of a headache. But
it was the actual fuck show.
It was a little bit of a fuck show. Hello, Marble. But we wanted to talk about kind of, we're going to talk about our dogs. We want to talk about funny stories because these dogs are so absolute goons. They're just so weird all the time.
And it's all of their birthdays coming up soon in June. They all have June birthdays.
It's birthday month, yeah.
You guys have June birthdays.
Yeah.
They're being very cute right now.
Yeah, they're being good. I like this. This is cool. Yeah. They're just, hey, get away from the iPad. Get away from the iPad.
Don't knock
that
over,
from the iPad. No. Whenever we're around and like they're not left to their own devices, they're pretty good. You know, like when we come in here to podcast, we come out and some shit happened because they're just like rebelling. Like Peach will tear the couch pillows apart. Anyway.
She a naughty.
These are our dogs.
We got Peach
hey,
movement.
Hey, sit.
Good girl.
Watch out for the mic.
Good girl. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Watch out.
Oh, very
All right,
good.
Stay. Enough.
Regular animal wranglers over here.
Yeah, she's going to use her hand to just knock over your mic in a sec. Hi, Periscope. They can't even see me. But, so we have a bunch of stories. Jenna's got more than I do because she's got more dogs than I do.
I've got 2 dogs.
But we figured let's just get into it, yeah?
Yeah, I'm at 2% battery.
I got the Mophie right here.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Call me Mr. Clutch.
So I am prepared.
Because I'm in a manual car.
Okay. So I decided that I was going to talk about Marble first since he's the oldest. Marbles is going to be 7 on June 5th.
Peach is going to be 1 on June 15th, and Kermit's going to be 5 on June 20th. Look at that. Birthday month coming up.
Birthday month, guys. Okay, so my first story is the first time that Marble ever barked.
Okay.
So I used to live in this like a 3-story house in Cambridge, and why are you just pointing the Periscope?
Well, because you're talking right now. When I tell a story, I'll put it on me.
So he hadn't made a noise. I got him when he was, 6 weeks old or something like that. Little. Like he was a pound. He was the size of just like a baby bird. Mm-hmm. And he was running around this like parking lot of a backyard that we shared with the 2 upper units. And in Boston, a lot of times, like in the basement, there's like these small little windows that are right against the ground.
Okay.
So, and they're, rectangular, but they're to like the dirt basement, like the laundry.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like when you walk into the side of the house, you see them on the ground.
Yeah, the windows are on the ground.
Got it, yeah.
And Marble was, super, super little and tiny, and he walked up to one of those windows, saw his own reflection, and went, and I almost died. Yeah, it was the first time I ever heard him bark.
So cute.
It was the cutest thing in the world.
I love that. You were obviously there, I think, for the first time Peach barked or made a noise. It was like so cute. Their first really bark is like such a weird. Yeah.
What their voice is because they all have different like sounding barks.
Yeah.
And, it's really cute. Yeah. It was really cute. All right, that was Marbles.
All right, you want to do 2 because you got more than me? All right, go ahead.
Well, the next one we both had, so we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
So Marble, like I fixed him when he was like 2. So
This is Marble. He's the little one.
He's the little one.
He
still like humps things. Like he used to hump things a lot before I got him fixed.
Yeah, he's pretty alpha.
And the reasoning behind me not fixing him till 2 was like it was complicated. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it basically boiled down to you can't do anything with your dog if they're not fixed.
Yeah.
Like you can't take them to parks legally or like no daycares. Yeah. And I was like, okay, buddy, sorry. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
So he still like humps a lot of things, whereas these two don't hump anything because they got fixed relatively young.
Yeah. Kermit's super submissive and Peach is just a little baby Goyle.
Little baby Goyle. So Marble's like, instead of just humping like anything and everything, he chooses one stuffed animal and he humps it until the stuffed animal is like gone or dead. Yeah. And so he's gone through a couple in his life. He had a lion, and then I got him the exact same lion when Kermit wrecked it. And then for a little while it was a bear, but now he's currently on a bear.
It's the bear, yeah.
But, like, at night when we go upstairs, he'll just, like, stand at the edge of the bed, like, look for it. He'll, like, start wagging his tail and freaking out because he wants you to find his bear so that he can hump it. And if, like, one of the other dogs touches it, he, like, flips out. But it's just really adorable to me that something with the size of, like, a brain the size of a walnut can be so emotionally attached to one stuffed animal.
And there, it's funny because, like, sometimes we'll be in a hotel somewhere and we'll have the dogs and we'll have forgotten the bear, but we'll have another stuffed animal and he'll understand that that's, like, his temporary, he'll have to make do. And you can see he's like reluctant, but he'll do it.
He doesn't really
with
want
the
to.
Bear, he's, like, all about it. It's, like, his go-to.
It's completely adorable.
It's really cute, yeah.
But then, like, during the day, because I've seen other dogs be attached to one stuffed animal.
Yeah.
And they'll carry it with them and, like, bring it with them. They'll play with it all day. Marble's literally, like, will go to bed. He, like, will hump his bear for, like, 3 minutes, maybe, and then go to sleep. But he's, like, he, like, lives for that 3 minutes.
It's really, really cute.
It's pretty adorable.
Little Marble.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is pretty relevant because Jenna tweeted about it today, and it happened like today and last night. So we had cheat meal last night, and we got some Taco Bell, and Jenna got a Crunchwrap Supreme, which is like a little flat, little kind of whole quesadilla sort of sealed meat thing. I don't know what.
Cheat day, me day.
Yeah. So first, what happened was every time we leave the living room and there's any sort of food there, it's just a matter of time before Peach just like, you know, gets the balls to get up and just take it. Like, she knows she's not supposed to, but
you caught her on video trying to take it last night, right?
So it's on my vlog today. When you're watching this, it'll be on my vlog. No, it might be. No, it's the next vlog. It's coming out tomorrow. But anyway, I set up my camera and I was like, motherfucker, I'm going to catch you because I know you're going to do it anyway. So I put up the camera and she, sure enough, goes and like takes the Crunchwrap and like tries to drag it off. And I like yell at her. I'm like, Peach, I got you. And she's like, oh my God, oh my God. But anyway, that was last night. Today.
Yeah, I had only eaten like a quarter of it.
Like she took a bite of it, maybe.
So the whole thing was just sitting there.
I was sitting in the living room and we forgot to like throw it out last night. So we come downstairs today and we're downstairs for maybe like 5 minutes. I'm drinking coffee. Jenna's like checking her phone. Like it's just waking up time. And I go in the living room and I see that there's no Crunchwrap, but there's a wrapper. And I go outside. I go outside and I say, Jenna, did you throw out the Crunchwrap last night? And she said, no. And I said, okay, well, I can't find it, and I think the dogs just took it. So it's somewhere in the house right now. So I spent like 15 minutes. Calm down, all right? Calm down. I spent like 15 minutes like searching the living room, lifting shit up, finding, you know, a whole bunch of shit, but not the Crunchwrap. So it's just in the house now. It's literally, we haven't found it. So in like 3 weeks, we're going to find an old-ass Crunchwrap.
Or they ate it. Peachy totally could have eaten it.
The whole thing? Maybe she ate it.
Yeah, the whole thing. Well, her and Kermit work together like the raptors in Jurassic Park. So
that is exactly what they do.
Totally
they literally work together.
They work together. It's insane.
It's crazy.
But I texted Jordan Spoderman.
Yeah, Jordan, please.
That I was going to hold a candlelight vigil for the missing Crunchwrap.
You tweeted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so that's my first story. Guys, you need to calm down.
Julian.
No, that's her fault. Peach, you're being disruptive, okay? You're going to be in my shirt in a second. Stay. No licking.
Good dogs.
Be guests. You're guests. Okay, you want to go to yours?
Yeah, and my next one was about Marble.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that I've told this story before, but I had made a video a long time ago about this kid that I was roommates with that I hated. Like, I hated this guy on so many levels for so many things.
Yeah.
But one of the things I also hated was he had a rabbit named Jasmine. It was like this little black rabbit. Who I guess he bought it for his niece, and then he kept it, and it was just really weird. And this guy was very bizarre, and I just fucking hated him. And he would leave this rabbit on the back deck in Boston like through all weather conditions.
Yeah.
And like sometimes he would throw a tarp over it. And because I hated this guy so much, he would tell me, oh, you know, whenever you're at home, like if you want to just like take Jasmine out and play with her and stuff, I'm sure she'd appreciate it. And I'm like, I hate you, but I love me some bunnies and stuff because they're sweet and adorable. And so on the back deck, I would let Jasmine out and she would play with Marbles, and it was the cutest thing.
Because Marbles is such a pea-sized animal.
Such a little guy, and she was like a little rabbit, and it was before I had Kermit, and they would just like play together, and it was completely adorable. Cute. And like he would like let this rabbit go days without giving her fresh water and food, and like I would notice it, and like you can only do so much, you know what I mean? It's not your rabbit. Like I can't check on it every day, and I also fucking hate the kid. And one day I went out there and it was dead. And the only reason I knew was because Marbles walked up to the cage. And, you know, usually he would just walk up to her cage and like wag his tail and start getting all excited that I was going to let her out.
Yeah.
And he just looked at our cage and then looked at me and went,
That's so sad.
And it was the saddest thing in the whole world. But for a while, Marbles' best friend was a rabbit named Jasmine.
It's really cute but sad.
Isn't that
sad
sad?
Ending.
Marble, like he was very upset that
rabbit.
she was gone.
That's really sad.
That was really sad.
Dang.
But if anybody has a rabbit, just know that Marbles will get along swimmingly with
if you have
rabbit.
a rabbit, just come over for a play date and Marbles will have a friend. Peachy, sit. Okay, you gotta lay down, okay? You're being too wild. Yeah, hug your brother. Just trap him. Okay, so this isn't really a single story, but because Peach does it all the time. But Peach is a little goyle. She loves to be goyle and does goyle things, like girl things. Like she'll take Jenna's underwear out of Jenna's drawer. Like she'll wedge the drawer open, take the underwear, and then
it got to a point where I didn't have any underwear. Like I literally had no
I would
underwear.
always thought, like, Jenna, just shut your drawer, and you wouldn't have a problem. And she would be like, I know. And then
but
I
kept telling you, I was like, Julian, I shut it every day.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't believe her. I'm like, Jenna, just actually shut it. Like, shut it. And then, one day she caught Peach in the act of pulling the drawer from completely shut to open. Like she opens the drawer, her underwear drawer.
Raptors.
Like a raptor. Anyway, so Peach will take her underwear all the time. Anyway, we caught her one time in the bed upstairs in our bedroom with a bra. Like she was basically wearing the bra. Like it was over her and then around her, and she had underwear in her mouth. And she was just like the biggest little girl.
No, I've caught her so many times. Like she doesn't even just chew it. She ends up like wearing it on her body.
It's like a little girl baby that you have who just wants to be a big girl so bad.
And I caught her the other day with a Ziploc bag full of like my like lip glosses and stuff that she'd taken out of my backpack because she loves my makeup upstairs. She chews it all up.
It's the most adorable thing, honestly. You can't even be mad.
But it's not like she's over here chewing Julian's stuff.
No, she's definitely a girl.
Chewing my girl things.
Yeah.
Bratty little baby
little brat. That's one of my Peach stories. So
no baby Goyle.
No baby Goyle.
She's so cute.
And she's so adorable because she looks like she's got like eyeliner on and mascara. Like her eyes are dark around the edges, and it's really cute, man.
My next story is about Sherman. So I had only had Sherman for like, I want to say like 4 months.
Yeah.
And he was also, 6 or 8 weeks old when I got him. So he wasn't old at all, like a few months old.
Yeah.
And it was Valentine's Day. And, like when you have a new dog and you're sort of letting them feel out things and you think you have a good grasp on what they're capable of doing or getting on or whatever.
Yeah, you're testing their limit. Yeah.
I completely had no idea and underestimated, like I'd never seen him do it, underestimated his ability to get onto things.
Yeah.
Because you think you have this dog, maybe it'll, jump up onto your bed or something like that. Yeah. Well, he had recently just figured out how to jump up onto these tall bar stools and got onto the counter in the kitchen, and there was a heart-shaped box of little Reese's peanut butter cups, like the little mini ones. And I came home to my like 4 or 5 month old puppy or whatever, 6 months old puppy, and all the wrappers were just strewn everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, like he just ate all this chocolate, like he's gonna die. Like I was like horrified. Like I literally think I went to go get a sandwich or something. Like it was that fast. Yeah. And I was like panicking. And I'm just looking at Kermit, and he's just sort of like looking around like, oh, well, oh, I didn't do anything. I was just eating some peanut butter cups. So I panicked and I called the vet. And it was actually one of the most helpful things ever, because I was under the impression that my dog had just he'd eaten a ton of chocolate. But she was like, no, they're actually the peanut butter cups. Most of it's peanut butter, and it's also wrapped in milk chocolate, which helps. So it's actually, X amount of cocoa.
So she calculated.
Per cup that he ate. She was like, tell me how many are in the box. I'm like, well, I don't know, 25 or something, but it looks like he ate 15. I don't know. And so she calculated how much actual chocolate that he ingested per his body weight.
Yeah.
And she was like, he's going to be fine. He's just going to be really hyper and probably have some diarrhea.
Yeah.
And so I was just in tears, so happy and excited.
That's insane. I can't even believe that's how it went down. She just calculated right there for you.
Blink of an eye, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, do I need to take my dog to get his stomach pumped right now?
Well, Kermit, and now forever now, Kermit loves chocolate. He loves chocolate.
I know, and that's what the vet told me. She was like, well, now you just be aware that since he's had chocolate and tasted chocolate, they're like people. They develop a taste for the chocolate, so he'll try and get into chocolate again. Like a little fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Whenever you're eating chocolate, he wants to come sniff your shit.
So naughty.
So naughty. But that was terrifying, and he did that when he was a little baby.
Kermit's a naughty.
He also, I don't know what you have, but he also, I know I made vlogs years ago on my vlog channel. I had a doggy door in Boston, and Kermit caught 13 rats by the time he was
he's a killer.
4 or 5 months old. Yeah. Because that Jasmine, the rabbit, this is what a shitbag that kid was, after the rabbit had died in its cage, he just took the rabbit cage and dropped it down onto the pavement. There's a chain link fence, and then there's a strip of pavement around it, and then there was our deck, which was small. But he had just dropped the empty plastic container onto the ground, so it would rain, and it was filled with this green, disgusting rainwater and snow water.
Did he dispose of the body?
I think so.
Oh my God.
But it was just this plastic container full of water. And so I thought it was kind of cute when Kermit had brought me a couple of rats, because I'm like, that's really sweet. I get it. You're trying to give me a present. But then, there's only so much space outside. And he would go outside, bring in a rat. And I'm like, where in the fuck is he getting all of these rats from? It's not like he has a giant space to play in. And most of it's a deck. Where are you getting these rats from? So I was like, I'm going to sit outside and I'm going to watch him all fucking day until I figure out where these rats are coming from so that they can stop. You know what I mean? And what was happening was the rats were coming from wherever. But because there was this thing of standing water, they would just come and perch on the edge of this empty rabbit cage.
And he would strike.
And drink out of it. And Kermit, like an alligator, in a safari, would just fucking kill them as they were drinking the water. So I was like, fuck, Kermit. So I dumped all the water out, and then he stopped bringing me rats because they stopped coming around.
He's a fucking cold-blooded killer.
Isn't he?
I think Peach bringing sticks from outside is annoying. That would...
I know. Well, it was cute for a little while until it was where are all these rats coming from? And this is disgusting.
Yeah, dead rats everywhere. Holy shit.
Well, he would drop them on my bed, at the end of the bed and on the bathroom mat, so that he was doing double. He's like, all right, I'm gonna drop the very first time he dropped it on the foot of my bed and in my bathroom. There were 2 bathrooms.
God.
And just to make sure that I saw them both.
That's rough.
He's a sweet boy though. But just so you know, if you ever have any rat problems,
I don't think I will. Peach is too nice.
She
struggled to kill that fly the other day. She was like, I don't want to be friends with it.
Well, you weren't there, but he has almost killed that possum here and at the previous house. Yeah. Multiple times.
That possum's asking for it, though. I mean, come on, possum.
I thought he was going to kill that possum. I had to let the possum get away.
No, I remember that. You saved his ass.
Well, yeah, because I don't want Kermit to kill him.
I don't want dead animals in our backyard either.
I know. Plus, those things are nasty and have rabies and gross shit and ugh.
All right, so my next story. I was running Peach. We went for a run, and I used to work where I would have to be in a studio for 6 hours at a time to board op, and I would like to take Peach when she was a real young puppy, but I had to run her or else she would be off the wall and I couldn't do my job. So was running her this one morning, and she was on a leash, and we were running relatively good speed, like I don't even know, 7 to 10 miles an hour, and some streets around our neighborhood don't have sidewalks, so you're like running on the grass kind of side part of someone's lawn, instead of the street, which will have like street signs and things on it that a sidewalk would have. So we're running, and we're on this little grass patch, and up in front of us about 10 yards is a parking sign, and we're running, and we're like, we're off to the side, so we're nowhere near the parking sign, and right as we about like are approaching the sign, she out of nowhere just bolts to like the street. Like, she's on my leash, so she's not getting into the street, but she bolts that way towards the curb and like the sign, and I have like zero time to react, so I stop as fast as I can, but it was too late because she clotheslined herself, so the leash hit the pole and she went like this way, and she just got choked and fell on her back. And I was like, and someone saw it happen, so I like dropped down, like I fell. I turned around, I was like, "Are you okay?" I thought she like broke her neck, or she like punctured or whatever, and she was fine. She was totally fine, and I think 100% it was attributed to the fact she was wearing a martingale collar, like this really thick padded collar, where when you tug on it, it only tightens so much. So I think that helped a lot. But she totally just like clotheslined herself to the point where she just like completely fell on her back. It was pretty freaky, but she's just a little like a sight hound, so she just saw something and just
in my list of stories too, that the first time that we took her for a walk, she literally just stood there and went,
she didn't know what to do.
Because she had no idea, like, we're going to walk now.
Yeah, she was so stressed out.
My dogs are like, bitch, let's go.
For like a good, I would say for like a good month, maybe 2 months, I would have to carry treats on their walk and just bait her to walk.
Yeah.
Here's how it went. Like, I would have to bait her to walk to the first street corner with treats, and by the time we got to that corner, she was like, oh, I got it. And then we just walked the whole walk with it without treats. But it was just getting out of the house down to the first corner.
Right. She was like, I don't get it. Where are we going?
Where are we going? Why are we all walking?
Why would we go outside? What are we doing?
She like thought she was expected.
That was
something.
weird too, because both of mine, like, they're just so happy to go on a walk.
I know, and she was
happy them to walk.
Yeah, and like she was happy to walk, but she didn't know how to, like, because she wanted to get out.
The baby goyles. Yeah. I don't know where we're going. Okay. I had 3 stories about Kermit chasing or getting chased or being chased or whatever. So the first one was at my old place in Cambridge when he was still a baby. There's like a baseball field and a big field that was in sort of the center of our neighborhood. And in like a big place like that, especially in a big city, like in Boston, there weren't really a ton of dog parks.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people at maybe 7 or 8 in the morning, and then like 5 or 6 at night, like before and after work, like people would congregate sort of in the middle of this giant field with their dogs. So that was sort of like our neighborhood's dog park.
Got it.
But it wasn't completely fenced in. There was fences all around, but they have those gaps so that you can walk in and out. So it's not like it closes.
Got it.
And so, people would just go there sort of on their honor and watch their dogs, and, no one had a problem with that.
Yeah.
And so I would bring Kermit there, in the morning and at night and stuff, and be part of the little dog group and la la la. And I have so many mixed feelings about people bringing their young children to areas where there's a lot of dogs anyways, because it sort of gives me a little bit of anxiety, because not all of them know how to act around dogs.
Yeah.
And people...
We've seen that. Yeah.
I've seen that. And people sort of, are like, oh, she loves dogs. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine, whatever. So Kermit, like, they tell you, especially with Italian Greyhounds and other Greyhounds and Whippets, since they're sight hounds, that you should never, ever let them off leash. And, I've done what I can with Kermit, and I think you're doing the same thing with Peach, whereas, like, if you build a really, really strong bond with them, there are exceptions to that rule. Do you know what I mean? And I was building, like, really great trust with Kermit, and he was doing really well, and he's also, like, too skittish to ever really take off. But he was, young and still learning, and this fucking kid, like this little girl, maybe she was like 5 years old, she starts chasing Kermit. And the kids do this a lot with them because they're so fast and they're funny looking and all that. she started chasing Kermit, and I'm telling her, I'm like, honey, like, don't chase him, you're scaring him, like, he doesn't like that. And she just like fucking is racing, like screaming and like trying to grab him, and Kermit was so scared of this little girl. Like, my house was literally just across the street of one of those gaps in the fence, so he took off out of this field and ran all the way to the front steps of my house, which you can still see, you know, it's not that far away.
Yeah.
But I was like,
terrifying nonetheless.
It was so terrifying that he had ran into the street, and it's like, you know, the only time he's ever done anything like that. He was a little baby, and I just wanted to fucking find that little kid's mother and be like, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
Like, you cannot chase dogs. Imagine if he was sort of like an asshole at that point. Like, if he turned around and bit her, their parent would have sued me. Like, I did something wrong. Yeah. And it is what it is. Yeah. It's whatever. But that was a rant
for another day.
That was one of the scariest things.
Yeah.
With Kermit being chased. And another time Kermit being chased, he's just like, he loves being chased, but dogs, when they get it, like, think of Winston, my brother's dog.
Yeah.
When he sees Kermit, like, they want to chase him to the point he's terrified and doesn't want to get chased anymore.
Yeah, it's like not a game anymore.
Yeah, I was at an actual dog park, a big giant dog park with Kermit, and there's no separation for small dogs and big dogs, so you kind of just gotta go and figure it out. And he was, again, little, like under a year.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest German Shepherd I've ever seen in my life started chasing him. And so Kermit is, you know, we have a good bond going. And so instead of running away like he did before, so he had like learned a little bit from that little girl experience that I don't really want to run away, he starts circling me, like literally orbiting me. And this German Shepherd is just chasing him around me to the point where this German Shepherd was like kicking up giant like hunks of grass. It was running so fast in a circle. And like, I'm just sort of standing there like, I don't really know what to do. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, Kermit's just running it around me. Like, you know, the circumference is like this big. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I hear Kermit start going,
while
he's running. Like, my poor little Kermit didn't know which was worse, like to keep running or to like stop running. Like, the German Shepherd was just playing.
Yeah, he's like, just like cry running.
But Kermit had never been really chased by a big dog that much. Yeah. He didn't know what to do. So it's like 2 whole minutes of this, and then all of a sudden you hear, like, buddy, I had to like stop.
Intervene. Yeah. That's too bad. It's unfortunate when dog owners don't act right. It's not fun.
And the last story about him chasing was when I was in Fishtail, Montana. I was driving across the country. He saw a deer. We were in a big, giant open field again, and he saw a deer. Yeah. And so he just chased after it. Yeah. And he got right up to the deer's face. It was really close. The deer was pretty close. Yeah. And he got right up to the deer's face, and they just stare at each other for like way too long. Yeah. Like, just don't break eye contact. And then all of a sudden Kermit goes, and turns around and runs back to me. I was like, buddy, what did you think was going to happen when you got to the deer? Yeah.
He didn't think it through.
No, he just
he realized like how I've made a huge mistake. I'm going to turn around now.
See the deer.
Yeah.
You know.
He is a deer. He's a baby deer.
She was a very pretty deer though, wasn't she, Kermit? It wasn't one of those big crazy ones. She was literally just like, hey, I'm a deer. Yeah. I'm just going to go home.
Okay, so I got 2 more stories.
About PG?
Yeah. All right, so it's not really a story. It's just a funny kind of coincidence, circumstance thing. So I got Peach on August 17th or 16th. I can't remember. It was a Saturday. And I got Peach. We went to the airport. I vlogged it. And anyway, we got her, and it was just like, welcome home, Peach. It was the first day I had her. She was, I believe, 8 weeks old, because that's like the soonest I could get her, 2 months old. And it was like my first day with her. We were like getting her kind of warmed up to the house. She's really excited, then she falls asleep, and then she's really excited and then falls asleep. So it's like a first day with a puppy, like a puppy.
Yeah.
And we go to sleep, and the next day, Jenna had a shoot with Pitbull. She was on the Fireball music video, and we were, obviously I was invited to go with her or whatever, and Jenna was like, we just got this new puppy, and people's people and stuff, they were just like, yeah, bring her. Like, maybe she could be in the video. Yeah, who knows? Just fucking bring her, whatever. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to leave her at home for sure. Duh. Right. but I don't really want to not go to the shoot with you. I want to be there. So I took Peach, and I had her in my arms the entire time. She was this big. She was like 3/4 the size of marbles right now. She's so small, and she's still like learning everything about everything. She knows nothing, Jon Snow. But anyway, so I had her in my arms. She had her little hoodie, and I think she had like this blanket. And I just carried her around the pit bull shoot with me the entire night. Like
Peachy was there.
She was there, and
that was her
everyone met her.
Her second day home was
at a pit bull
on
shoot.
set at a pit bull video.
Yeah. It was really, really funny. And Brett
really
was there
ridiculous.
with us, and it was just like a really cute thing. I think I still have some pictures from it, but
it's really cute. She didn't get to meet Pitbull, though.
No, Pitbull was too busy.
Pitbull was very busy being Pitbull.
But she met everyone, like all the crew, and everyone was like, oh, like they didn't even realize I had a puppy, and they were like, oh my god, that's a head. She was that small.
Yes, yeah, I know. And she
Her
slept
second day
most
with
of the
us.
time, right?
She did. Before we actually got to set, Jenna was at a trailer getting makeup done. I like went out to this grass field and like tried to get her to pee, and it took me like 10 minutes, but she finally like went to the bathroom, which was like that much. And then I carried her.
I have two more stories.
All right,
aside from the one about marbles flipping out.
Okay.
Were times that what was it? Kermit.
Can I tell the marble story real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so Marbles, like that's Marbles. He's very small, and we have he doesn't really know how to get up on things. He's very small. He can jump decently high for his size, but he's no Kermit or Peach. Like he can't jump high or jump down from high places. And we have stairs to the bed for him because he can't get up on the bed because our bed's decently high. Yeah, and he gets in these weird moods where he's like really daring, and he just kind of does whatever Marble. Like it's almost like he's on one. Like he's feeling really confident, but to the point of like it's freaking me out a little bit. And one day, Jenna and I both saw this happen.
Never seen anything.
It was
like
the most insane. It was like a spectacle because it didn't make sense visually, like the size and the proportions. But he runs to the side. He's on the head of our bed where the pillows are. He runs
really high,
really fucking high. He runs. It's like us jumping off a 2-story building, but he runs, sprints to the edge of the bed. I think we were like, "Do you guys want to go somewhere?" And he jumps off the bed and soars like across the whole room and slides onto the wood floor.
Ooh,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare him. But he flies off the bed and he just like stumbles onto the ground, and we just like he was fine.
Yeah,
like, he didn't break his legs.
No, he looked like he totally wanted to do it too. Like that.
But
was
it was
the completely
out of nowhere.
Was because he like twisted in the air, like and then he landed on the ground. He's like, yeah, fuck yeah.
He just took off, man. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like
it was like he was on fucking acid.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fly today.
That's what I wanted to say.
It was insane.
Oh my god. It was one of the weirdest things ever, but it was so like we had to have both seen it because one of us describing it to the other would have been like not doing it justice.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it.
You wouldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the marbles jumping stories. You got
my last two are about Kermit shitting.
Okay, let's hear them. Oh my god, yes. All right.
Kermit is kind of a nervous pooper.
Yeah. And
he will hold his poop until like the middle of the night when no one's watching, and then go try and poop in the bathroom.
Yeah, naughty.
He's so I don't know.
He's gotten
has a
better
complex
though. He's gotten
poop.
a lot better.
For sure.
For a while, it was bad.
But he gets nervous and then he poops.
Yeah.
So when he was little, I really wanted him to have like a crate and be happy with a crate, like a safe place, you know what I mean? Like a covered den, basically. Yeah. And I wasn't going to use it for anything other than just like, here's your home, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I put Kermit in the crate, and you're supposed to do it in small intervals of time while you're still in the room and help them like leave the door open or anything like that. So I was sort of trying to get him to do it. He wouldn't even like put his body anywhere near it. Yeah. And he was like freaking out. So I literally was just like, I closed the door and I'm like, it's okay, Kermit, it's all right. And he shit everywhere in the crate, everywhere. And then he turned around in it and he got his hands all over it and he smeared it all over the crate. Like it was like watching someone like freak the fuck out. And it happened so fast. And then that was the last time. I had to like close the crate out.
When Kermit gets nervous, he moves at this like really like panicked speed, and he does things like, dude, calm down. But there's no calming him down. It's like he's in his weird nervous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So Although recently, within the last 2 years or so, like my brother left a big soft crate for his dogs at my house.
Yeah.
Like it kind of pops up like a tent.
Yeah.
Kermit will sit in that all the time.
He only sits in it because it's on his accord.
Right, yeah, but he likes
choosing.
crates.
Yeah.
He'll
He just
sit
felt
in a
like
crate.
trapped.
He just, when he was a baby, he flipped out.
Okay,
and
so
also,
okay, yeah, tell it. Go ahead.
The next time, this was even worse. So in this house that we currently live in, you know, whenever I'm renting a place, I'm like, I just need to find a place that has the least amount of carpet possible.
Yeah.
Because it's not that the dogs want to go on the carpet all the time or have accidents all the time, but when it does, it's just such a fucking headache that I don't want to deal with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Kermit, the only place in this house that has carpets are in the closets.
Yeah.
So there's his and hers closets. They're little closets, a little tiny room with a little like carpet in it.
Yeah.
And so we're really good about keeping the door closed so that they don't get in the only spot of carpet in the entire house.
We're really good about it.
And so Kermit was following me around the bedroom. I was like getting dressed, and you know, oftentimes they'll try and follow me into the closet and get in there because it's a place they'd never been. It's very exciting, and you know, I sort of just closed the door behind me because I was getting dressed, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna close my door so the dogs don't get in there. And all of a sudden I realized that Kermit's not around, and I'm like, Kermit, where's Kermit? Where's Kermit? And maybe a minute and a half
Not even a minute and a half.
Maybe 45 seconds go by.
Yeah.
And I opened my closet door like, oh my God, maybe Kermit's in my closet. He had gotten so panicked that I had closed the door behind him that he diarrhea shat all over the only square of carpet in the entire house.
Like it was wet.
It was
everywhere.
It was everywhere.
Like I don't even know how he did it in that short of time. Like
it's not possible.
It was like he covered 5 square feet of poo. Like not full, but no. Like if you were to square off the closet, each square, I would say 5 different squares had some little remnants of poo on it. Like he spread it everywhere.
It was ridiculous. And as soon as I opened the door, that scent just wafted everywhere, and I'm like, how was that even in your body?
Yeah, that one was a fun one to clean up.
It was ridiculous.
He's so funny,
But
man.
yeah, Kermit is by far the weirdest dog that there ever was.
No, anytime we think they're being weird, Kermit always out-weirds them.
Kermit out-weirds everyone.
Anyway, I have one last story.
What is
It's
it?
not gross, so I'll end it on a non-gross poopy note.
Poopy Kermit.
So I would say like a couple days, like maybe 5 days. Oh, you know, like maybe a week into having Peach at home. Like very, very young. Still floppy as hell. Still very, very small. And all energetic. Like from the moment she came home, she just wanted to play with her big brother Kermit. Like she just wanted to run with him. But he would trample her. Like he would just outrun her and she wouldn't get it. Like she would just keep playing. And Brett came over one day and he was like hanging out with Jenna, like over by the we had a pool at our old place and there was like a barbecue with it, like a little area on the steps where we would sit, and they were sitting over there, and I was kind of like encouraging the dogs. I would love to like run around with them and like, you know, like taunt them and make them run with me. You know what I'm about to say, right?
Yeah.
So they're running in circles, Kermit and Peach is way slower and way floppier, but Kermit's like nimble and fast. And out of nowhere, and I'm standing like right by the pool. I just so happened to be standing.
We had only had her for like 2 days, right? 3 days?
Yeah, it was very young. It was under a week. Anyway, I just happened to be sitting right next to the pool. Like, I don't know why I was there. I could have been on the other end of the lawn, but I was there at that moment. And I looked down, and as I'm like looking down, Kermit is running, like he's edging the pool. Peach is taking the inside lane, and Kermit cuts her off, and the back of Kermit's body just knocks Peach into the pool. Like, and she just goes
like so little.
She gets knocked in the pool, and I hear it and I see it, and I look into the pool, and I just see this puppy like drifting down to the bottom, like sinking, looking up at me, like on her back, like she's just like it's the Titanic. She's just like this, and I dive in like the top of my body because it's the shallow end. I grab her, I bring her up, and I'm like, "Are you okay,
totally
Peach?"
fine?
She's totally fine. She just like had no idea what had happened, but it was the most like Such a puppy moment. Like, she just wanted to play with the big dogs and got knocked in the pool.
It was also ridiculous, too, because, like, Kermit would tear around that pool. And I was always like, one day that little mother... Because he's never been around a pool a day in his life.
He's gotten so close to where his leg fell in, but he recovered. Yeah,
but when we moved in there, I'm like, he's going to fall in the pool. He's got to learn. And he totally has skidded out and his back legs has gone in the pool before, but he's never actually full-blown fell into the pool.
You're right. He cut it really close all the time.
And he's never knocked marble into the pool either. But like Peachy was so little, like she didn't really even understand that it was water. You know, I think she just thought it was like a little bit of a ledge. Yeah, and we're like, that bitch is gonna fall in the pool, and it happened so fast.
So fast, under a week of having her at home. But I was so happy that I was standing right, because I wouldn't let her play outside unless I was there for a while.
Yeah, especially not with a pool. But it was just so ridiculous.
And you guys saw it.
And the puppy's in the pool.
Just like dive in. Oh, I got you. I got you. Oh my God. Yeah, that's the last story. Anyway, I loved the fact that we brought them in here and they're just now sleeping right here like this.
Yeah, why can't we do this every podcast?
Well,
you're so good.
They've actually impressed me, so maybe we will. Who knows?
Guys are so good. Show Periscope what they look like. Yeah, are we still live?
It said 50. I don't
Is it frozen?
I think it's frozen. I think Periscope froze. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this podcast, this dog podcast. Yeah. It was really fun.
Oh, Carmen's having a strange nightmare.
He's chewing.
Okay.
All right, buddy. We will be back next week with another podcast. And SoundCloud and everything. Thank y'all for listening and watching and hanging out. Like I said, Jenna Julien Pod on Periscope if you care to check it out. I think we'll probably do that again next week, except not have it freeze.
Yeah, not freeze it.
Yeah, but we love you guys. Thanks for watching.
All right, bye, friends.
Good podcast.
Bye. Good dog podcast. Oh, did you wake up from your nightmare? Good nightmaring. Good nightmare feel.
Bye, guys.
Bye, friends.